Summer is always warm, but this is already among the hottest ones ever. Last month was the warmest June on planet Earth since record-keeping began in 1850. July 2023 followed suit, engulfing various parts of the Northern Hemisphere in merciless heat waves. Regions like the southwest of the US and Mexico, southern Europe, and China were hit particularly hard, leading to escalating heat-related deaths, a surge in heat-related burn victims flooding emergency rooms, and even animals succumbing to heat illness. Temperatures soared to unthinkable heights, crossing the 50 degrees Celsius mark on the 16th of July in Death Valley, US, and in northwest China. Numerous other weather stations in China also reported unprecedented records. In Europe, Catalonia experienced its hottest day ever, while other parts of Spain broke records for the daily minimum temperatures. The severity of the crisis doesn't end with the soaring air temperatures. The oceans are experiencing exceptional heat levels too. Why is all this heat happening now? Global weather cycles as well as long-term trends are converging just right to send temperatures soaring. The worst part? As sweltering as this summer has been, it may be one of the cooler years of the rest of our lives as the planet continues warming. Climate change is making heat waves more extreme. 2023 is poised to be one of the hottest years on record. You might wonder how climate scientists can make such a claim when the full summer season hasn't even passed yet. Well, it's true that they aren't fortune tellers, but they do have a way of foreseeing these trends. The climate operates according to the laws of physics, and a key principle is that increased greenhouse gas emissions lead to more heat being trapped in the atmosphere, causing the planet to warm up. Unfortunately, we've been emitting large quantities of greenhouse gases, leading to more heat being trapped, and consequently, the planet's temperature rising. And the simplest explanation for all of this heat is climate change. Hotter extremes are one of the most obvious consequences of rising global temperatures. Our cars, factories, and power plants have warmed the world by about 1.2 degrees Celsius, roughly 2 degrees Fahrenheit, since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. We're on track to blow past 1.5 degrees Celsius in a matter of years without a dramatic reduction in fossil fuel emissions and the proliferation of technologies to pull carbon dioxide out of the air, according to the world's top climate scientists. While that increase may sound modest, it makes extreme weather more likely. So, for scientists, the record-setting temperatures are not surprising. They are what we should expect. We're in a big El Niño year. Human activities aren't the sole drivers of climate changes worldwide. There are also natural fluctuations between warmer and cooler periods. One of the most important of these is caused by changes in wind patterns, as well as the temperature of the sea surface in the Pacific Ocean. When the sea surface is warmer than usual, it's called El Niño, which translates to little boy in Spanish. Conversely, when it's colder than usual, it's referred to as La Niña, which means little girl in Spanish. Both phases wield considerable influence on the global climate, affecting not only overall temperatures, but also weather patterns across the globe. Over the past 3 years, we've experienced La Niña conditions, meaning the surface of the Pacific Ocean has been cooled down by colder than average temperatures. However, even during these La Niña years, they still ranked among the top 5 hottest years on record. That's because, as you might have guessed, the impact of pumping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere is incredibly potent. Looking ahead to 2023, it's predicted that the La Niña phase will give way to an El Niño phase, with the sea surface warming up. Earlier this year, the US Climate Prediction Center announced that it detected conditions of El Niño. This year's El Niño is poised to be a big one, sending shockwaves into weather patterns around the world. It's likely to set new heat records, energize rainfall in South America, fuel drought in Africa, and disrupt the global economy. It may already have helped fuel early season heat waves in Asia this year. Heat domes have settled over parts of the world. Heat waves, an extended period of extreme temperatures, are caused by a buildup of high pressure in the atmosphere. This pressure compresses and heats up the air below it. As the air descends, it pushes out cooler, fast-moving air currents and squeezes away clouds, giving the sun an unobstructed line of sight to the ground. The ground, soil, sand, concrete, and asphalt, then bakes in the sunlight, and in the long days and short nights of summer, heat energy quickly accumulates and temperatures rise. Additionally, waves in atmospheric air currents, known as the jet stream, can hold this high-pressure lid in place for extended periods. This pattern is sometimes called a heat dome because the heat is trapped under a dome of pressure. Parts of the US, including Florida, California, and Arizona, are now baking under these heat domes. The Earth is heating up, and now every year is one of the hottest years since records began. As we delve into the hard truths of climate change, we're faced with an unmistakable call to action. The evidence is glaring, and the consequences are severe. The time to act is now.